Hello, good morning and welcome to That's Football. It's the morning after the night before, and for England fans we're all feeling a little bit surprised, shocked and happy and light. A little bit of a headache from the exertions of last night, but we've got a couple of days off from the World Cup, so we're going to focus on some transfer news today. We normally have a show on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at midday, so it gives us an opportunity to have a couple of days of it before the World Cup returns on Friday. So Cristiano Ronaldo was the big news yesterday, but there was so much going on with the World Cup that it didn't really get picked up on. So Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus sort of broke around lunchtime yesterday from a Spanish source that's quite credible, saying that Ronaldo will leave Real Madrid, and I think that's the big story for me, and that Juventus are interested, want him. He's going to Juventus, £88 million, £30 million a year, and he will go to Juventus, which pretty much on any other day would have sent real shockwaves through football, and I think in some quarters it did. But interestingly, ex-manager director at Juventus, forget his first name, Moggi, second name, has said, you know, it's a nonsense basically. Juventus need to sort out far more areas than they do need Cristiano Ronaldo at Juventus, and doesn't expect anything to be in it. The report is £88 million. Juventus, as I said on the United Stand last night, Juventus for Ronaldo. When you take away the shock, it makes sense, because I've done it in England, I've done it in Spain. Let me go and do it in Italy. Juventus have won the title there for the last 3 years, so I probably would expect with Ronaldo they'd win the title again. They're always competitive in the latter stages of the Champions League, so maybe I can make them a Champions League winner. So it's a challenge for Ronaldo. And when you look at the other challenges that may be available, PSG, well, can he make PSG win the Champions League? I don't know, and it's not a competitive league. It isn't. He'll win a title, but it's not competitive. He'll stat pad, but it's in a pub league. And then England, well, he can only come to Manchester United. He can't go to Chelsea or Man City, surely. So he can only come to England, which means he can only come to Manchester United, which means he's got to play with Mourinho, where he's had a bit of a tempestuous relationship. And can Manchester United win a Champions League? I mean, who's more likely to win a Champions League at the moment? Manchester United or Juventus? Well, you know, as a United fan, I'm sorry, it's Juventus. Who's more likely to win a league title? Italy and Juventus, Juventus and Italy, or Manchester United and England? Again, more likely Juventus and Italy than Manchester United winning a league title. So on paper, Juventus makes a lot of sense, but can they afford him? Can they afford him? Probably. Will Real Madrid want him to go? Probably not. It's certainly one to keep your eye on, but I personally would side on the fact that I don't think this is going to happen. I don't think Ronaldo will go to Juventus. Where he'll go is very interesting and very exciting, because I do think it's looking highly likely that he'll leave. And I know a lot of people say, well, this happens every year, and of course he could sign a new contract, but it's starting to feel like this is the end for Ronaldo at Real Madrid, and where he'll end up is interesting. Fraser Dude Evolution says Juventus, and Kato Ellis says Juventus no longer has interest in Savic, putting their focus on Ronaldo, which is a good point. Milinkovic-Savic, if they're no longer interested in him, I don't think Manchester United are interested in him anymore. So does he now stay at Juventus? At Lazio. He would have cost about £100 million. So that is of interest. Also, I did see something yesterday that Real Madrid are interested in bringing Mbappe to Real Madrid for about £250 million. So they will need to raise money from somewhere. And actually, I think Real Madrid are about to go through an evolution process, and there has been a breakdown in the relationship between Ronaldo and Perez. Ronaldo, 3 Champions Leagues in a row. He's won loads of things at Real Madrid. Mbappe looks like he's the next big thing. And maybe Real Madrid are at that point where they want to evolve as well and try something new. So that merry-go-round could be really, really interesting, and keep your eye on it. But I don't think he'll end up at Juventus. But then again, I'm not sure that PSG or Manchester United are right for Ronaldo either, as much as I would love him to come. Manchester City should get Mahrez and Jorginho done in the next week or so. This is a deal, or a double deal, that's been pretty much guaranteed for about 2 months. Why it's taken so long, I don't know. Maybe Manchester City are quite relaxed about when it happens, because they know those deals are going to happen. Jorginho, Riyad Mahrez to Manchester City should be happening very soon. Told you I was tired. There is also talk of Chelsea and £70 million for Willian to Barcelona. Whether Barcelona would want to pay that much for him, he's about to be 30 in August, I don't know. Manchester United would be keeping an eye on that deal as well. But surely Willian is only worth 40. I think even 50 is too much for him. I don't know what you think about that. Liverpool made a move to sign Besiktas 29-year-old Croatian defender Vida, who is an Everton target. That's been reported by the Star. It'd be quite interesting because Vida is playing with Lovren at the moment, who of course is still a Liverpool player. And Tottenham want to sign 23-year-old French midfielder Adrien Rabiot from PSG. Now, he has been touted to Manchester United and Manchester City in the last few days. Now, Spurs have entered that equation, which would be quite interesting. I think it suits Spurs quite well as a midfielder. But PSG do need to raise a little bit of money themselves through financial fair play, so keep your eye on that. AC Milan as well. So I think this transfer window is just going to absolutely go off on one over the next few weeks because there's not a massive amount of time left in it. A lot of focus is on the World Cup and what a fantastic World Cup it is, but clubs are going to have to start doing their business soon as well. And I think in some ways you sort of want this to be last summer or next summer because there's so many different areas to this transfer window. Chelsea have not got their new manager in. When they have, they'll spend money. Liverpool still want to spend more money. Arsenal are trying to rebuild it. This is just domestically. Man City are going to do their two deals. United linked to Alexandro yesterday. Apparently, terms have been agreed, according to Duncan Castles, who's a journalist. They're just sorting out the deal, which could bring more money into Juventus. That could be £50 million in Juventus's pocket. If they're not going to sign Savic as well, that's 150 million quid. Maybe that's what they're using for Ronaldo. So maybe that makes it realistic again. I don't know. Real Madrid are going to make moves. Obviously, they've got a new manager in. PSG have got to sell, but they will want to make moves as well. AC Milan have got to sell. Juventus are linked to everybody. Barcelona, what are they going to do? So there's loads and loads and loads. Eden Hazard, he wants to leave. There's loads of things that are going to happen this summer that it almost would be its own 3-month soap opera. It's actually going to have to get it all done in about 3 or 4 weeks because once the World Cup's over, it's only about 3 or 4 weeks till most European leagues start again. So massively interesting what's going to happen. Sevilla and France midfielder Steven Nzonzi has told the club he wants to leave amid interest from Arsenal. That's been reported by The Sun. He'd be a decent signing, to be fair. And Arsenal manager Emery wants to sign Barcelona midfielder Andre Gomez, who went to Barcelona a couple of years ago. I think he went there from Valencia. He's 24 years of age. It hasn't been a great move for him. I remember him being linked to Manchester United at the time, but he's been very, very poor for Barcelona. I'm not too sure he's the right sort of signing for Arsenal. I personally would go for Nzonzi. I think he'd suit it, having played in this league a little bit better. Morata could be used in a swap deal to sign 30-year-old Argentinian forward Gonzalo Higuain from Juventus. I think Morata would love to go back to Juventus, and a Higuain may be of interest to Chelsea. That's been reported by the Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy. And Thibaut Courtois has hinted at a move to Real Madrid in order to be closer to his children. That's been reported by The Independent. Alisson of Roma is still a goalkeeper that Real Madrid have been close to as well. Courtois, I think he does want to move, but this is the difficulty you get into if you're Eden Hazard, Courtois or other players this summer, is that you may want to move from Chelsea. But there's so much going on. Who can take you? Who's going to take you? Because the money's in the Premier League. If it's not in the Premier League, it's PSG, it's Juventus, it's Bayern, it's Real Madrid, or it's Barcelona. And them teams are already making moves. So people might get stuck where they're not happy. We'll have to wait and see. Manchester United are close to signing 23-year-old Lazio and Serbian midfielder Milinkovic-Savic after Juventus withdrew their interest. That's been reported by Tuttosport via the Manchester Evening News, which is what we sort of alluded to before. And Luke Shaw has returned early from his summer holiday to train alone, trying to get his fitness up for next season. That's been reported by the Mirror, which may all well be in vain if Manchester United do sign Alexandro, which I think is what a lot of people want to ask. Let's have a look at some of your comments. Mbappe rumour denied by Real Madrid today, says Connor English. It was something that came out yesterday, Connor, to be honest, and look, Real Madrid will have options, and they may well just look at Hazard. I think if Ronaldo leaves, Bale stays. So I'd be very surprised if Ronaldo and Bale left Real Madrid. But I'll guarantee you, one of them will. This is the England and the beer that's making me tired today. 1 yawn's acceptable. 3 is a nightmare. Ronaldo could reject Juventus, says Pankaj. Yes, and maybe it's all the start of a bidding war as well. Juventus are the first one. I'm sure PSG will enter the fray. Manchester United would be crazy not to try and do that deal. It's very exciting. We've got a fantastic World Cup at the moment. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait. We will have the watch-alongs on Friday. France, Uruguay at 3 o'clock. Brazil, Belgium at 7 o'clock. What a double-header that is. And then Saturday, I don't think the games are as good as the Friday. But from an England perspective, it's big day Saturday, isn't it? If they can beat Sweden at 3 o'clock and then we sit back and watch Croatia, Russia on the evening to see who they will play in the World Cup semi-final. So excited about that. So enthusiastic and excited about football in general at the moment. It's just good feeling. I mean, I don't like Liverpool. I'm a Manchester United fan, but I found myself warming to Jordan Henderson last night after the game, and then he, went to console James Rodriguez, who's one of my players, and I just think, it's great in the UK at the moment, or in England especially, obviously, because there's a real good feeling around the country, and this is what football can do. But in a bigger picture way, I'm really proud and happy about what we've achieved on this channel as a community with all the watch-alongs, not just the England one last night, all of them. We've had some great ones, and please do keep spreading the word and getting involved, because it's a community. I know people support different teams, different countries, but there's a real good feeling about it. And also beyond the World Cup, or whilst the World Cup's going on, I think this transfer window is really exciting as well. And then we've got the new season, the Premier Leagues, the Champions League, La Liga. It's great. It's great. And there's a real buzz around football at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. So I hope you are as well. And Mourinho doesn't attract players. He repels them, says Emperor Halcyons. If we sign anybody in his 30s, we will need to go to the market every transfer window, says Al. Henderson has always been a good player, says Robert McCormack. And I'm in Cornwall on Saturday, says Fionn Curtin. I'm sure they've got TV. And let's have a look what other people... PSG will be the club for Ronaldo, says Leila, sorry. And any news on Schmeichel, says, yeah. I think he might go to Liverpool. I think Kasper Schmeichel, it would be a good signing for Liverpool. I really do. And Chelsea are slow playing their manager acquisition, so their players can't leave, says Wilf. Yeah, very slow from Chelsea, to be honest. Very slow indeed. And we already have to sign Ronaldo if we really want to stick it to Manchester City, says Kevin O'Callaghan. Do United really need Ronaldo, says Michael Burns? I think any team needs Ronaldo. I mean, he's still Ronaldo. I think any team takes Ronaldo. I don't think it's exclusive to United, City, Chelsea, PSG, Juventus. They all would take him. He's absolutely fantastic player, and I'd really like it. I'd really like him to come to Manchester United as a Manchester United fan. Smash the like button, please, says Hidipi Johannes. And 2 spots left open on the United tour, says Jazzy Now. Yeah, they're for Darmian and Blind, aren't they? I read that myself. And but I think both of those will leave. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. We've got nearly 500 people watching. The channel's growing absolutely fantastically well. Great community that we're building, like I say. Please do keep spreading the word about That's Football and getting involved. I think Xander's back tonight at 7:30 as well, because we were doing that before the World Cup. I do mine at Monday to Friday at 12 o'clock, and he does a longer, more interactive one at 7:30. So keep an eye out for that. I think he will do that. I'm live at 8 o'clock on the United Stand if you're interested in Manchester United. And obviously, if there's any signings over the next couple of days, we will go live. If not, I'll be back at midday tomorrow. And then on Friday, we've got the watch-alongs back again. So thanks, everyone. Real positive. Sun's shining in the UK as well. I'm going to get out in the garden, have a kick about. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching.